What's going on, guys? Has Hands here. Why is Has Hands? Because Has got hands. So I've been playing this game for a little bit now, and I started to collect more 5 stars. And then once I start collecting more of the 5-star characters, I realized not all 5 stars are created equal. Like there are some that's vastly different. So I decided, do a tier list to guide people into knowing which 5 stars to invest in against, because 5 stars cost a lot, right? They cost 2 4 stars and a 5 cubes. And so you wanna make sure the ones you're investing in on your climb when you're fighting, especially in PvP now that the PvP beta is out and it's showing that 5 stars are extremely more powerful in PvP than it is in a single player game. I was hoping to I wanted to get a little guide. Hopefully this guide can guide people to see which ones which of the we can go into detail which of the 5 stars actually worth investing into, and which the ones you body better off just like letting not really trying to waste your hard earned cubes on those cards. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so what 5-star tier list, 5-star character tier list? Which ones stay above the pack? Which ones are middling, and which ones you just leave alone? I'm gonna go into depth with go into deep detail when it comes to the S and A tiers for the most part. But after B, C, and D, it's kind of self-explanatory. They kind of like, what I'm saying is, they get in what they fit. Get in where you fit in with those characters, if that makes any sense. But let's get started. On the first one we're gonna start off with is our homie, the Swordbow character, which is an extremely strong character. Let's look at the stats real quick. You're looking at 5,300 physical, 155 on a defense, 425 on attack, 210 on magical resistance. You got the magical strength was a 330. Brutal injury is 190. You got 38 on attack range. So definitely, obviously, clearly, it's going to be a range archer with significant melee capability and faster attack speed. As you can see, everybody in S tier has a attack speed of 0.6 or higher, 0.6, and a very significant kind of movement speed. But what makes her stand above the rest is her hero skills. Like the World Tree, obviously, basic attacks can chain damage to 2 enemies. So it has a significant AOE possibilities, which makes it great. And then it has burst damage, which is really good. I remember burst, with every 6 attacks, it deals damage with the highest mental power on the field. 160 more attack plus 320. So as you can see, as it stacks up, it does physical damage, but also does physical AOE, which is great. It's very rare. Most of the time AOE attacks is usually magical when it comes to some kind of game, but this one's really great. And obviously it's stacking and increasing stack speed. As you can see, Nature's Fury when attacking, there's a 50% rate to physical damage, and then you can also silence it. Got a little bit more control capabilities, but also when attacking, the probability of increasing your own attack speed for 6 seconds. So you got the range, AOE, you got the attack, you got some control. So it's a jack of all trades when it comes to damage, and also being a nature archer. It's a very good, a very balanced color, I should say. And actually, especially look on with the other characters, you can tell that this one is very good. If you want an attacker, you want a solid attacker, you want to have somebody taking care, clearing out the mob for you later on. Definitely is a great character to look out for when it comes to this. Next up, we're going to have the energy. Look at the vampire one. The vampire one is an interesting one too, as well, as you can see. Oops. So as we go there, buttons don't work. But yeah, so the vampire is a cool guy. I like the vampire. I was looking onto him. I didn't really like him at first. Initially, when I saw him, I thought he was the mage base class. And as you can see, the top 4 is mage. It's one of each one. Sword, mage, and warrior. For the most part, rogues usually fall apart a little bit. But as you can see, we got my man Energy Vampire. Oops, changed the language actually. Using the Japanese website to look at these things. Oh, it was already Japanese. All right, so the physical strength is 7. Is 50. Is stronger. He's got stronger physical attack, stronger attack. But magic is actually significantly 1 point. He's a mage-based character, melee-based character. So a mage attack character. His range is slightly smaller than the person before us, but still a significant range. He has a faster attack speed, and he is slightly faster than also will boost a better defense. But what gets him, what's really great, because obviously he's a vampire, is he inflicts bleeding. Bleeding is very good because when you hit, I love. Let me go slow this down. I love bleeding as a skill, right? Because bleeding itself is a skill that does damage over time, and as you go game where time is of the essence, that bleeding can be the difference between life and death. Also, it absorbs stamina absorption too. When stamina is less than, obviously, blood transfusion, vampire. When stamina is less than 25%, absorb stamina of 3 people rounding and 1.5 blocks. So he has a lot of self-sustain. He has a lot of energy drain, and he does a lot of consuming. Like for example, like the blood revenge, when physical strength would be consumed, and then magical damage would be caused by the 8 damage up to 15% consumed. So he basically absorbing stamina, absorbing strength, and then putting it back into the enemies. He's very great. He's very good when it comes to chipping away on characters, and very good if you're doing a lot of if you're playing against a lot of later on in the late game with the mobs. And also too in PvP, when you're playing a long game, a lot of people in PvP, I don't know, how other people experience this, but I experience a lot of people trying to tank. So he's definitely a tank killer, and very great for that. So he's a really great character to use, especially when it comes to chipping away your enemies, draining away. Combined with her, obviously you got him and you got the girl, you just gonna win. Like honestly, like those two good, but like you want to get obviously people use 1 5-star, so you want to if you're mage based, definitely you want to put this bad boy in the late game. You definitely want to bring this bad boy out, and he'll definitely be an impact into your team. All right, so next up we got my lovely lady, the Nine-Tailed Fox. Nine-Tailed Fox is pretty awesome as another Nine-Tailed character. I like the art style of the Nine-Tailed Fox, honestly. Now, this is a strong attacker. We're boasting 6,100 physical strength. The defense is a little bit less than the magical person, but still there. As a significant more magical strength. Range attack is 31. Attack range is 31. Attack speed is still at good old 6, but it's a little bit slower than your average. But here's where the glory comes in though. You got the Foxfire. When attacking, it does an 18% probability of causing damage to enemies of 3 enemies within 2 blocks around it. As you see, there's a pattern here when it comes to AoE damage. Of all these, AoE is very obviously in a game like this when you got a lot of mobs, you're going through waves. The more AoE you can do, the faster damage you can do damage to everybody. The faster you're going to get through the mobs, the better chance you have of winning. Then the Ninth Tail, for every 8 seconds, increase your own mental power to the highest mental power within 3 blocks around you. So it's a self-buff ability, which is really great. Obviously, say you stacking that as you're doing the AoE damage. And then for every 5 attacks, the enemy applies a burn effect that causes magic damage per second. So once again, like I said, damage per time, bleeding, magic is just chipping away the enemies. Like I said, which is a really great ability when it comes to these games. Oh, there we go. It really comes to these games. And then enhanced dispersion. For every 7th attack, you restore strength of 3 random. Restore the physical strength for 3 random opponents within 3 squares. So, I think that's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be allies. Because why would you restore the physical strength for your opponents? And you get plus mental strength. But this is actually really good too as well. How it's spread out is different than how it plays out. Let's be honest with that. But it actually helps out a lot when you add plus every 7 attacks. It strengthens the field, and obviously as you go more as a more of a mentor, more of an attacker. There's definitely it's an assist character more so. She's not really going to be doing a lot of damage. She does, but she's basically there to help out, buff your characters, buff your enemies, buff your allies. Buff your allies and debuff your enemies. That's a really good, but it's actually really decent character. Well, not decent. That's S rank actually. She's actually significantly great. It's one of the best assist characters in the game because of the enemy dispersion and because of the blocking you can do and reducing and the debuffs it can take care of. Now, for the last S tier character, we have the Warlord. The Warlord is a really, really, really surprising character. I thought this was going to be an attack character, but it's not. It's actually an assist character. And yeah, I thought it would be the attack. He's definitely assist positioning. Still attribute, long range. Once again, that's another thing too. That's another thing. Most of these guys are range characters. But God of the Battlefield was a really great one. Obviously, boasting the 12.2 move speed, got 0.6 attack speed, shorter attack range than all the other people. That's why he's like later on down the list. Smaller attack, smaller defense, smaller mental strength, slightly more attack, and then 6,200 physical strength, which is really good. But what he shines at is definitely once again is his abilities. The God of the Battlefield, for every 6 seconds, he and all his allies within 3 squares are not affected by debuffs for 7 seconds, which is great, especially when later on when a lot of your mobs have a lot of debuffs. That can be a significant difference. Also in PvP, definitely in PvP with the debuffs is definitely something that you want to be wary of. He got the Star Cry, which is pretty cool too as well. It has a 17% probability of giving shield, which obviously protecting. Obviously good. He's a great support character when it comes to giving shielding enemies. Half Moon Slash to deal every 5 attacks, deal damage with the fixed damage to the enemy. And then here we go. This is a really great one. This is one of my favorite abilities here, which is the Warrior's Emblem or the War Leader's Emblem. When it increases attack power of allies on the side by within 2.5 squares by 20%. So definitely is a guy that's gonna be buffing up. I like buffing up your people, helping your attacks out. You want to definitely in the support positioning. You get him, and with some proper Arcana, you can make any kind of combination of powerhouse, which is really great, significant in this game as well. But yeah, so then here we go. So the A tiers, right? We have the Dragon Knight. We're gonna start off with the Dragon Knight. We're gonna go all the way down. As you can see, up here, as you can see, unfortunately, like I had to put the what you call it? I had to put the rogues in the second, less little section A tier because the rogues are super dependent on 2 Arcanas. Honestly, the Joker and like the thief, they focus on 2 Arcanas to help with critical attack. So a lot of times they're hindered by how much critical attacks they can actually do, unfortunately. But let's keep it going. Now we got the Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight is going to be your heavy damage dealer. We got both in 10,000 physical strength. So it definitely is a melee. It's a tank. It's definitely gonna be on your front line attacker. The reason why I got this slightly down because why she is strong, why she does have great skills. The bikini armor increases her personal strength, increasing every attacks. It does power to the enemy and 2 enemies. It does. He got strong AOM. It got the mind lightsaber when attacking. It does 70% chance of fixing damage to the enemy. And the kinship, it probably resistant to fear effect. It doesn't have that much buffs. Like it doesn't. The attacks like is mostly single target damage. It's a shorter attack range, so the range is smaller. And obviously, if you got longer range, you can hit with people more. It's gonna be more in the front lines. So obviously, if I had to choose between the Dragon Knight and the other 4 we talked about earlier, I'm going to the other 4 just because of the overall presence and domination they have on the battlefield in comparison to the others. But yeah, but she's still a good pick to do. She's still pretty great. Still can do a lot of damage. This just comes to overall impact. I like the other ones better because they actually fix the whole team than just individually strong. And so obviously she's strong individually, but if she have a bad matchup, then she SOL. It's like a lot of frontline people. They get first to strike, but first to get damaged into. Then, secondly, we have my main man, which I personally enjoy, but obviously it's still not up there with A tier, but still is a very solid choice. Would be the Sky Knight. Now with the Sky Knight, obviously posting 9400 attack. The attack speed is up there. Once again, the mental strength is pretty good. Pretty solid defense. It's an assist character with this light attribute and a gunner, right? The Griffin Rider, for every 7 seconds, it gain a buff effect and reduces all damage. Gain a buff effect, reduces all damage you take by 35%. Cool. The Airborne Strike is when attacking, a probability of 18 fixed cost, fixed damage. Every 7 seconds, Benevolent Lore, every 7 seconds, you increase your own, in a random 3 random grid, a main zone attack power, and then Shield of the Company, the dense power of oneself on all sides within 2 squares. And this is why it's a A and not a S, is because a lot of the buffs is for itself. If it buffed its opponents too, I mean, if it buffed, oh, I pulled it down. If it buffed, like, if these skills more of these skills said everybody, then it'll be a little bit higher on my list. But just because it's more singular, and as an assist character, it's kind of like the support. As a support character, its support is okay, but when it comes to like if I'm going to spend my resources and build, and I'm gonna build my path to this one, why wouldn't I build it to? If I'm gonna build this, why not just build the Warlord? You know, because I'm getting more debuffs, I'm getting more specials. So like that's my thing is like, okay, if I'm building this, why not build this? And then it's like, okay, I'd rather have a 5-star support or something like a 5-star supporting me than have enough 5-star that has just dual attacks, because a 4-star, 2 4-stars can just be better than a 5-star when it comes to that situation. Like my plan to probably only build like one. Like you probably only get to build like a couple 5-stars, like 1 or 2 tops. So why not focus on ones that can have more presence with overall than just ones that's gonna be one very singularly strong, which is cool. But then again, like I said, as far as not S, it's A, because it's still great. It's still a strong. Don't get me wrong. It's still great. It's still a strong character thing. But it's not as battlefield changing as the first to up 2 up top. Next, we're gonna have our rogues. I'm sad because I have a lot of rogue. Arcana, and I got the good ones, and rogues are great. But like I said, the only reason why I'm not putting them higher is because the dependency, as you'll see, the dependency on criticals. So let's look at these one right now. Right, first we got the Luna Blade or Dark Blade, whatever you want to call it. What's name? Maybe different in translation. Got posting the 7,000 attack, 7,000 physical strength. But basically that's itself. 565 attack. Beautiful injury gonna be fit to 150. Faster movement speed, fast attack speed. It's going to be a rogue with ice powers, and it's going to be front. So Moonlight Slash. When a critical hits, apply a bleeding effect debuff that causes physical damage, and a second per enemy for 40 seconds. Twilight Guard, when attacking, the probability of causing magic damage to 2 enemy and 2 enemies. It's a 50% probability for that, which is cool. Full Moon Killing. Every 8 attacks increase your own critical strike rate by 20%. And then Cold Air increases all the damage of oneself and all cold attributes in the surrounding blocks for 10%. And see, that's the thing I'm talking about, is that it's great. It's a great thing, but it's all crit reliant. So this is going to depend more on Arcana you use than the other ones there. So obviously, if you got the 2 Arcana that focuses on crit, you're good. You can be killing it. It's gonna be great for you. But this is a tier list about characters that's just on their own merit and not off the Arcana. So that's why I had to bump them down a little bit. It's still a very great card. If you have crits, if you have the crit Arcana and you want to build towards rogues, this is an amazing solid choice to have. It's just it just falls a little short when it comes to actually using on his own without using the Arcanas. And that's why it's not on the S list. And next we have the lovely lady. So find which one she's at. The Bounty Hunter. Yeah, no, next we have the Bounty Hunter. So the Bounty Hunter, we're looking at it right now, boasts a physical strength of 860 50. So, you know, a little bit less. You know, not too much, not too low. Attack of 420. Very nice. You got the defense of 390, magical resistance, which is really good. A significant magical resistance. It's actually a tank. It's interesting. It's a tank rogue, which I find pretty interesting. 5% crit rate as usual. A faster movement speed, so it's a faster tank because it boasts a faster movement speed, but also a pretty solid attack speed. If I say most of myself, you know. But here's the physical shadow every 12 attacks, which a mental shadow has been trapped in certain periods point and restores physical strength. So you got that. You restore yourself and buff. The probability then bursting time attack. There's a 6% probability of enemy around the grid to get and study 3 time resistance control. So it definitely has the control aspect in it. And cycling pendulum, physical damage, attack power. And then retrograde reduces time and anomalies held by oneself. Like I said, it's a tank. It's basically oneness, and it's like, okay, if I got this, would I choose this over the Warlord? You know what I'm saying? Because it's still not. This don't even have anything off the crit. Like, it's like, yeah, it's a good tank, but is this person the card going to change the whole game? And it's not. And it's not significant difference in the battlefield. It's great. It's a solid card, solid, very solid. It has some significant power. I'm not knocking it at all. But when I look at the other one, there is something slightly lacking when it comes to oh, I'm sorry, I called her a lady. I'm sorry, it's actually a dude, but I'm sorry about that. But yeah, he's great. He's good, solid tank, very great. Keep you there, but he's not like the top 4, man. And it's first to last when it comes to this. Most of the time right now is like these 5 stars are either super great or just bad, okay. And a lot of these is okay, but since I need to have 4 slots to make sure someone would be slightly more okay than the others. All right, that's how it works, right? All right, and then the last one we can go into detail because I want to make this a million long video. The last one we're gonna go into detail is going to be where you're at. This one. The Archangel was another assist character of the priest archetype. 5'6", 580 physical. There we go. 580 physical strength. Attack at 360. Mental strength is at 620. Some mid-range magical defense. Attack speed is gonna be up there. Most 5 stars got 0.6 over attack speed. And 11.1 movement speed. Slot low crit rate. Light of Destiny for every 9 seconds to restore one's physical strength, and with the lowest physical strength within 4 blocks around them, which is fine. It boosts your highest. For somebody with the low who got from the high to the low, that's not really bad. When attacking, 13% to restore your physical strength of 3 random people, and it squares around you for every second, which is not that bad. It's all about physical strength you're doing. That's why I'm like, at the beginning of the battle, increase the movement around you and all your sides. So it ups the physical strength is health. So at the beginning of the battle, increase the movement around you. So it helps to increase speed, and then Twilight God, it increases attack range of oneself within all squares around you by 3. So basically, as a healer, it's basically, obviously going to keep pushing up physical strength, which is your health, but also is going to be, it's a very significant healer. My only issue is that with healers, which is cool, the difference between like a 4-star hero and a 5-star hero is so small. It's like, why use all these resources? So, I can use a bishop. Like, look at the bishop. let's look at the bishop for example, right? The bishop, you can just keep a bishop. And I need bishop and astrologer to use the skill. Why wouldn't I just use a bishop and just do a second bishop for to bump my defense sometimes, you know? And so that's what it is. And so those are the only ones I want to talk about. These 5 stars here, they're okay, but honestly, if any of the green one, any of the green ones, I would just go for sword blow. Like I said, any of the like instead of him, I would definitely go with this one because he's better. You know, the mage first base ones go here. Like, you know, then most of the time there are significantly better ones, and then like the darkness one. I guess that's another thing with dark and light. They weaken against each other, so you can get them most of the time. But like, yeah, most of the time the Bs, in the C ranks, I wouldn't really necessarily go towards them. Like, obviously we can build them good, but I'll be better off. Honestly, you'll see that these ones over here is better off. It's always better to have like 2 4-stars than have one of these. You know, it's better off to use a 4-star. Like, I'm gonna give you an example, so make sure I'm not like, you know, giving them a fair shake. I don't want to, you know. But look, let me see. Let's go with the guy. Let's go with this one. The top most of the other guys that I had, right? You got Derendal, right? Physical strength is cool. Attack is cool. Like, his physical attack and speed is a little bit lower, faster. So you need a magic font and manipulator. Oh man, I just hit the wrong button. Right? And so, you know, there's 12% probability to do damage to enemies, and then then you got a stun. It inflicts 10 physical damage to 3 enemies within 2 things, and then when attacking, 4% chance. See, it's like chance based. It's not really as as impactful as the other ones up top. So it's like, why not just keep the magic front? Cause think about it, I'll use 2 people for manipulator. I'm gonna use the show you magic front real quick while we over here. Might as well. I keep clicking on it. Yeah, this duration it plunges enemies' defense power, and for every 6 attacks, the physical damage the enemy does 100. For every 6 attacks, it does this. So it's already doing it on X amount of attacks. You know, instead of it being a 12% chance or 40% chance, it's on every other attack. So you see the ones who are up top, they have it on every X amount of attack. Every X amount of attack they're doing this. You know, it's guaranteed. This attack is going to happen. But probability, even though you can argue that probability will happen because you're doing 10 attacks and you 10%, you'll at least do one of it. But I'll ever have it so it says 6 attacks. I know what's going to do on my 6th attack. I know what's going to do. I can time that stuff out. You know, so best these characters, I would say you might as well keep the 2 4-star versions that they use to make them, and you be Gucci. Get this thing out here. Yeah, look at this one. Oh man, this English stuff gotta stop. Yeah, like see the gravity. Like I already gravity for every 5 attacks and every 6 attacks. So I got 2 things that I know every 5 6 attacks are doing things that blocking enemies that, you know, keep increasing my attack speed and stuff like that. So I might as well keep them and not waste my cubes with these lesser ones. Just the lesser ones. And you know. But yeah. But that's gonna be it. That's honestly gonna be it. Honestly, these top 4, I can say S tier. These top 4 right here, you definitely gonna be. You can't go wrong with these. You know, you start to fall off a little bit when you go to these guys, and then these ones you just keep the 4 stars. Honestly, just keep them as a 4-star things. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for today. If you like everything you got to do, please make sure you like, subscribe. Please comment. Let me know if you like this, if you enjoyed it, if you like this tier list, you think I was right about it, think I was wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. You know, I'm trying to push out more content and keep consistent with this bad boy. But you know, it takes a community to raise a child, right? Or it takes a community to raise a streamer. But yeah, I'll be streaming on Twitch. I stream all kinds of games on Twitch. But if you want me to stream this more, let me know in the comment too. Yeah, until next time, heads out.